Step into the unknown as we explore the unsolved mystery of cave diving gone wrong in Devil's Den. What happened to the experienced diver who ventured into these treacherous waters, and why has the truth remained hidden for so long? Join us as we delve into the shadowy depths of this chilling tale. Based on the pictures, Devil's Den Prehistoric Spring is a place that could be described as dark, creepy, and old. But it gets genuinely remarkable when you first ascend into the velvet beneath and catch a view of the dive platform surrounded by blue water. Undoubtedly, it's magical. One of Florida's premier swimming holes can be found about 60 feet underground. Photographers and filmmakers have called it the most beautiful cave in the world, but it's not just the landscape that's fascinating. Additionally, many people have passed away occasionally in quite mysterious circumstances. Today, we'll look into the cave and what makes it unique, as well as the stories of individuals who never left. The only way to understand how mind-blowing this cave is in person, and why it acquired the term Devil's Den is to recreate the experience of the 1800 settlers who first stumbled upon it. To find the cave, you had to travel 25 miles southeast of Gainesville through a grassy, tree-covered stretch of northern Florida, hidden beneath water oak trees and dense vines. It might be easy to miss if you didn't know it was there, but as you get closer, it becomes obvious. There's a hole in the ground and steam billows out of it, giving it such a cinematic look. If you're a fire and brimstone, Bible-loving settler from the 19th century, you'd exclaim, "That hole goes straight to hell." However, the settlers named this cave before they bothered to go inside. When they peeked over the hole, they saw crystal blue water, instead of the orange glare of Satan's dominion. They were looking at an underground river without knowing it. An ancient river was full of fossils, including saber-toothed tigers, mastodons, camels, and even human bones from almost 7,000 years ago. Early settlers were on a Smithsonian trip. They grew watermelons around the cave and kept their cows among the oak trees, but that's it. Some braver kids used to swim there, but they stopped quickly. Once the cave was used as a dump by the locals and people had no respect for nature, it was in the 1970s that any attention was paid to this incredible underground wonder, which was now full of trash and widely considered by the locals. The 1970s were a decade of demons, and scuba diving soared in popularity. Divers discovered that this supposedly hellish location was a great spot to practice their sport. Eventually, a couple bought the property, renovated it, and used it as a location for scuba training and recreational diving. Several factors make this an outstanding scuba diving destination. One is the water temperature, which relates to Florida's climate and the cave's isolation. In the Devil's Den, the water is always 72 degrees Fahrenheit or 22 degrees Celsius. This is close to the ocean temperature in Southern California in June. The cave's fantastic shape is another aspect. The entrance is so small that you must walk single file down one flight of stairs to reach the water, but once you're there, the cave widens. Despite the tiny entrance, this pattern continues until you go under the sea. If you swim to the bottom, you will be at least 50 feet below the surface. Devil's Den is 200 feet wide and looks like an inverted mushroom, making underwater exploration unique. The main reason people travel from all over the world to visit Devil's Den is for its beauty. The Devil's Den is a popular site because of its imagery, but it's also more than that. This cave isn't a portal to hell, as early observers believed, but it has taken many lives. The first documented deaths at Devil's Den were in 1990, after the land was purchased and rebuilt as a diving location. Only a few records, like a never-published newspaper article, give details about the event, but I've put together a clear, terrible picture. 3 people entered Peacock Spring 3 on April 9. A dad, 53, his 10-year-old son, and an adult friend. The name will not be published yet, but it was CP, KK, and CM. In late 1988, the 2 adults obtained their cave certification. The associate later earned his cave certification, while the other man needed more cavern or cave diving expertise. The colleague led the way into the cavern zone, securing the rope to a 25-foot ledge. Soon, a spillout happened, and the leader, assuming they were all together, untied the line as they exited. They took a rest there. CP, the seasoned diver who had brought an extra set of air tanks, decided to go on another dive in addition to returning to the cave. The other two gang members could not participate in CP since they did not have any more oxygen tanks available. Once more, visualizing the situation with CP waves is straightforward. Given the length of their most recent dive and that most scuba dives require at least a half hour to complete, it is doubtful that CP will ever be seen alive again. Although it was probably a while before KK and CM started to worry after CP failed to show up, and they tragically called 911. No air tanks remained, thus CC and KK could not find their companion on their own. By the time the rescue teams came, the situation was indeed dire. The unique and creative process of CP investigating an underwater environment, such as the one at Fountain Devil's Den, still needed to be included. Considering where CP was ultimately discovered, the search might have quickly taken hours. At the bottom of the pool, CP was in contact with the cave's floor slit. According to the popular hypothesis, this reduced CP's vision, causing him to become blind, which led him to become trapped in a passage known as a bedplane. This consists of two sizable walls that are near one another. According to reports from when the diving plane tunnel CP was found, it was just 2 feet high, making it even trickier to navigate while wearing scuba gear. Although a search was done, it was unsuccessful. Later, the body was found and it was said that the person had tried in vain to find a way out. The Devil's Den remains a mystery to this day. Despite the danger and uncertainty, cave diving enthusiasts continue to brave the depths in search of answers. Will the mystery of the Devil's Den ever be solved? Only time will tell. Stay tuned for more thrilling stories of adventure and discovery.